So fittings are a really, really tough place.
Yes.
Like,
very tough.
You feel like you're judged, you feel like you've got to perform well, and to be honest, you probably come out feeling worse about your game than if you sort of started.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, using a TrackMan can be the most absolute confidence killer going.
Distance gone. I can see gone.
It's horrible, but it's key to finding out what you need.
Exactly. So behind this video, we're going to bring 5 points that we think are the biggest mistakes made when getting fitted for golf clubs. Welcome to How to Ruin a Good Walk YouTube channel. This is the first of our videos.
Okay, mate. So what I think is key for people, club golfers like myself, to understand is the process. I've never been fitted before, so what happens?
Okay, so I mean, let's just sort of go like a basic bog standard sort of process. First thing you want to get is the length of the golf club right, and then you go and fit lie, because if you look at it this way, your length affects the lie. The longer the golf club, the more upright this golf club can become. So in terms of a process, we're going to fit length, then you get fitted for lie. That's when you start hitting off those boards like one of these. I think we've got one in here at Bramall Park. Oh, he says that, look at that.
Absolutely.
Oh no, this is why we go through every single draw here. We will have a board here somewhere, come at me. Ah, well.
Look at him flapping.
Flapping now. You know what I mean, guys. So you'd hit off that board, and that'd be when you sort of get some tape on the bottom. You always make sure you've got a nice centered strike. So length, lie, then we'd go for shaft. And actually, the last thing that you would do is actually probably choose your head design. Whereas most people go in there straight away, oh yeah, I don't know where these ones are. I want to go in here and I want to have these Strixons blades. I want to go in here and have these Ping blades, or I want to go in here and have these Clevelands, or whatever it might be.
Yeah, I think that's a very dangerous thing as a
100%.
Like, we look at the pros, look at like the DJ, look at like the Rory, Bryson, and we think, yeah, I want those clubs, I want them, that's what I want.
Yeah.
But actually, going in with that mindset is horrendous.
Terrible.
They might not be right for you.
Yeah. Okay, so we now got a rough idea of how we're going to get fitted. That's not really the point of this video. Let's get on to point number 1, because from a club golfer's perspective, you're going to be probably thinking this year, should I buy some new irons? Should I go down that route of investing in my game? Because if in the UK, to be honest, there's nothing else we can probably do this summer. So what are the points or the pitfalls that you should kind of miss? Okay, mate, so first thing, we've sort of already mentioned it in terms of like brands and
yes.
Should you, right, okay, here you go. What would you do? So if you imagine you had the ability to go and get fitted right now, obviously we're in lockdown here, we can't do that. But what would you do? Would you go in there going, I want to be, well, stupid question, the boy thinks he's freaking sponsored by Cobra, don't you, lad? But
well,
no.
Yeah. I mean, not yet.
No, but
Cobra, if you're watching, no.
Is that it again? No, but on a serious note, would you go in right now, before we've sort of talked through this video, would you go in with the brand or would you go in with a budget?
So this is the thing. We spoke a lot on our podcast about the new drivers, the new irons, the new gear that's coming out, and the old me would have gone, right, I want them. Yeah? But that's a bad way to do it. The reason is they might not be the right club for you. Go in with a budget, know what you want to spend, and get fitted that way.
Okay, so what's a reasonable budget?
Well, how long's a piece of string?
Okay,
but how much you want to spend. For me, I'm not wanting to spend massive amounts of money on golf at this point. But that's my situation. Okay,
so let everybody know, if you're getting fitted right now, what would your budget want to be?
If I wanted getting brand new irons, maybe 600 quid.
Okay, so between 500 and 600 quid.
Yeah. But if you're going in there...
And if Loz's not watching, 900 quid.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Put it this way, I'm never going to go in and go, I want some PXGs for 2 grand. But
no, I don't think many people are.
No, and I think that's the key though. Go in with a budget in mind and work to that rather than working to, I want this brand and I want this club.
Yeah, because you're going to sort of funnel yourself down that avenue of, I've got to be in this club, I've got to be in that brand, I've got to be this. And actually, that shaft, that head, yeah, you might look like you look at it on Instagram, but actually when you put it down behind the ball, it might not suit your game.
Exactly, and the thing is with that as well, if you go in with that club in mind, you aren't going to hit the other clubs how you normally hit them.
No.
Because you want that club.
No.
And that isn't a good thing.
So number 1, get a budget.
Okay, mate. So what is number 2?
Well, before we get into that, I've just made up a blade actually. This is what we mean by like kind of not going down a brand, or because like those new Cobra blades, like Ricky's, they just look a joke. Like everybody would love to use them, but in reality, then they're probably not.
Mate, they're that small. I'm missing the ball.
Well, let me get one of these, and then we'll get into point number 2, mate. 'Cause it's all about numbers. Okay, mate. There we go. Have a hit with that.
Oh, throw in the deep end.
Well, yeah, because in reality, like, this is what... You've never hit this club before.
Nope.
Because straight away, right, you're going to hit this club and you're like, this has got to be better than mine originally, right?
Yeah, and I think that could be a misconception with a lot of people in that it's a better club, so I've got to hit it better. No.
You're not familiar with it.
Exactly.
So what I'm going to say to people right now is, before you hit this away, mate, if you're getting a fit in, I would almost take your mind away from what's on here right now, or even potentially ask your pro, like, get rid of all this. You might want to see where they're going, because at the end of the day, you're going to be purchasing them.
Yeah.
But get rid of the numbers. Don't get them on the screen for me, because I know, like, straight away you're going to be like, oh bloody hell, how far has that gone, or I've not struck that well, or...
And we've had it in here when we've been doing other videos where I'm like, oh my god, I carry it further than that, where actually...
He absolutely dissolves.
But it gets you. Well, actually, you're there to find the right clubs, not find how far you hit a club. So don't worry about it.
Let them take care of themselves. If you just concentrate on sort of hitting it,
yeah.
Don't get rid of them. Don't get into them.
Exactly.
Let the pro get into them and decide and show you which one's the best. Go on, give it a go then, lad. We're going to go straight into numbers here. The one thing we just said not to do. I'll tell you what, handy player, isn't he? Handy player, the boy.
Wow.
Northern didn't watch out. A little high butter cut.
That's what I was playing for, yeah.
Yeah, so pull that, mate.
But that is key, guys. Don't worry about the numbers. Just concentrate on finding the right clubs.
Any good?
Okay, mate, so I'm hitting it great in here. Feels good, looks good on the track, man, hitting some nice shots. But should I take that for gospel? What do I do about hitting it outside?
So on that point, mate, like, I'd say that's a really valuable point, because I mean, when I got fitted, not for my Cobra, when I got fitted for my driver, probably like 3 or 4 drivers ago, my M1, like I got fitted for a 430 head inside and was ripping it, like I hit into the screen, track my numbers are like, whoa, low spin, high carry, all those factors that we're looking for. Got it outside, it's like a wounded pigeon. Can't get the blue thing in the air.
It's ridiculous, and it's mad to think that how it can change just where you are. So what would you say to them?
I'd say, like, I know Craig down here at Bramwell Park has a facility to do that, and a lot of places do have the facility to do this, is the fact that you can try them in here, almost get like your baseline. Right, okay, well, this iron with this half shaft and that head works, that driver with that shaft works, we'll try that Ping, we'll try that Callaway, we'll try that Cobra. Take them out on the golf course, hit 2 or 3 with them. You'll soon see straight away, once you get them outside and confirm these numbers, all you're looking to really do is confirm those numbers out on the golf course and go, right, okay, well, that one works for me. So yeah, if you can, always be able to hit it outside and not just into a screen. Okay, mate, so like when I'm stood here right now, what do you feel like? You basically, it's different because obviously we're mates, but
it's not different at all. I feel like you are judging me, mate.
Oh, I am judging you.
Exactly.
Look at those hips sliding all over the gaff.
But that's the thing, guys. It's gonna be a situation where you feel like you're being judged for your swing, maybe, or the pro's thinking, oh, buddy, like.
Thing is, though, if you start hitting it bad, it can sometimes turn into a lesson.
Exactly. That's what you want to try and avoid, really. Just don't worry about it. Don't worry about your swing. You're there for one reason only. That's getting fitted for clubs. You're not there to get a lesson. You're not there to get any tips. So even like Alex said, even when we're in here and I'm hitting some shots in between filming, I still feel like he's judging me because he's still a little slight digs, to be fair. But just worry about the clubs you're hitting. Don't worry about your swing.
Okay, guys, we got a question for you though. On this point of like getting fitted and all this sort of stuff. Are you going to get fitted this year? And if you are, what sort of brands are you looking for? Trick question here.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Trick question here. Don't do that. Just put it down below what clubs and what kind of thoughts have you got on getting fitted in 2021.
I'm going for the Cobras.
Shock. They only got rid of the T there.
Yeah.
Nearly.
Sorry, mate.
Okay, so the final point, and I think this is a really important one.
Point number 5.
Point number 5. Look at that, flown through this. is what are you looking for in terms of the session? You've got to let your pro know this.
Exactly. So you need to go in there with an idea in your head of what you want from your golf clubs. We've talked about not wanting brand and looking at budget, but what do you want? Do you want control? Do you want that accuracy? Or do you want to just biff it like Bryson every time and not worry if it goes a little bit wild? That's key.
And if you want all three, dreaming.
Yeah, well, yeah. But it's pretty much true. But that's if you're looking for a little bit more distance, there'll be certain clubs that'll be right for you compared to others. If you're looking for more control, there'll be certain clubs that are right for you. If you're looking for forgiveness, you may want a muscle back instead of a blade. Like, it's about having that idea of what you want in your golf game.
Yeah, and I think if you've got that idea from the outset, you can let your pro know, and he can then channel you down different things. So, for example, okay, I'm looking for outright distance. This Cobra goes further, but a little bit less forgiving. Or the Ping's a little bit more forgiving, but it doesn't go as far. Well, he knows, and that's not what you're looking for. So if you let these things clear, let your pro know these things clear from the start, well, we're going to be in a better place.
Absolutely, 100% agree. I think, but that's about understanding your own game more than understanding anything about the clubs. That's key.
Being truthful about your own game.
Yeah, don't be like me and just think that you can hit a million miles.
Because you can't. So the last little thing we want to say on this is, like, it's a big investment. No matter how much you're spending, 300 quid, 500 quid, a grand, 2 grand, PXG realms. It's
huge.
Yeah.
No matter the amount of money, it's an investment in your game, in your golf. So the most important thing is that you are happy with what you're getting.
But the one thing I would say is, if you're happy because you bought a blade and you're not wanting to hit, and you can't actually hit a blade, then in the long run you're probably not going to be happy.
Yeah, and it's going to be detrimental to your game. We're all going to get clubs to try and get better.
Yeah.
So make sure that you're happy and it suits you, not just, oh, it looks great.
Yeah, exactly. So guys, there you go. That is our first video here on how to ruin a good walk. Don't forget to join this team by hitting this big red subscribe button. We release videos every Wednesday and Sunday.
Give it one of them. And also, go and check the podcast out on Apple and Spotify.